Hello and welcome. It is the second day of May 2017. Welcome, and my name is Derek. Let's take a look at both the Bitcoin and the silver charts and talk a little bit about the collectiveness with them, the ratio, and really talk buying silver with Bitcoin. If you are holding Bitcoin, looking to buy silver, let's talk about a little bit of strategies. And some key things to look for is first the Bitcoin price. And this is obvious. The higher it is, the less you will need to pay for it, or the more silver that you can buy, maybe a combination of the both. Are you in a situation where Bitcoin is in a spot where it's a good intermediate midterm sell spot? And if yes, then maybe that's the time to spend Bitcoin on silver and any other things you are looking to spend, especially things that it doesn't matter if you buy it now or next month, or if you're planning to buy something like many months from now, you can time your market to buy it with Bitcoin is another way of putting it, and just paying the cheapest prices for anything you buy. But this is going to be an example with silver. And within the silver price, if you can get a situation where Bitcoin's going up and silver's going down at the same time, then that's just a double bonus. You could have spots where silver's in a fantastic buy signal, and Bitcoin is just neutral, neither great to buy or sell. And you obviously sell Bitcoin for silver in those spots. That's something you're looking for. And if you're trading the altcoins and you have something big, and I mean, for me, what would be perfect is if PivX goes to around 300,000 Satoshi, the price of Bitcoin goes to 1,700, and silver goes down, well, the previous low around 15 at the same time. That would be perfect for me, but there's no skill in that. That's all luck if that happens. Let's now talk about the charts. First one, the Bitcoin chart. And we can see on the daily that since breaking the resistance, it hasn't really went down yet that much, only short-term movements. There was a little bit of consolidation in here before it finally got going. And when it had its consolidation, it was doing such when it was already extended from the 18 average band. And now it's further extended. Short term, you can now start to talk about maybe you might want to sell a little bit and look to buy here, because we're in the 1400s range, and there's a chance, and I love saying that word, chance, that it might hit that level. And it's a pretty good one, I think, too. I mean, if it's 50-50 odds, I would easily bet that it's smarter to sell now, buy back at previous resistance in around 1340.50. But I've had so many situations where I've done this on cryptos, where I sell here, I put a buy order in for 13 at that exact resistance level, and I don't get it. And when that happens in these situations, well, as I've been stating, midterm, long term, it's terrible to sell here. And it's not that good to sell in here either. This is the area that I'd be looking to consider more of a midterm area for where to sell. I have a 161 Fibonacci upside level from this high to this low. Now I want to show something interesting about the Fibonacci upside. I got 161.8 and 261.8. If you put in the Fibonacci sequence and you invert it by 1, there's your same Fibonacci sequence. Furthermore, if I take the 38.2 number and I invert it by 1, there's your 2.618. And I can almost be assured the next one's going to give me 4.23. 4.24, close enough. So we'll see how well that these fib levels do. Hardly anybody in the trading market uses this calculation, but it can do fairly well. Again, movement on this upper band, this thing can easily pull back. But when you're in a situation where you're already overextended, market's going higher, and you're in any short-term moves when the market's bullish, at and near and breaking all-time highs, then having a push of like 4, 5, 6% in an hour is not a surprise, because that's what the market trend is showing. Now let's talk about this ratio with silver. I'm going to put the key points on this chart for where the silver is. And by the way, the date, it's May the 2nd, and it was roughly around 10:30 in the morning. Those are incorrect. Gold to, the Bitcoin to silver ratio in at 85 and 2/3. Let's look at some historic numbers. When this chart started in December, or on the start of this time frame, the ratio was 43. You can see it went up to 69 and 45 and the up and down movements. But it really does go to show you that when you buy things, when Bitcoin is extended from the upper band, then you can get it cheaper or buy more because the ratio is in its favor. Currently it's at 85, and we've seen silver going down. We're going to show that chart soon as well, where you might want to wait a little bit, because what would the ratio be on a move in here? Would it surpass 100? And it's only a matter of time before it does, I think. So if you're on the decision of either Bitcoin or silver and you want to take calculated chance, you buy Bitcoin first, silver later. We'll talk more about that on the silver chart. So then, those are the key points. Let's look further, and also the ratio back in early 2015, a little over 2 years ago, was under 9, 8.8-ish or so. So there, I expect this volatility to be huge. Situations where this can go well into the hundreds, and then there'll be a time when this will just reverse well to the other side. So the timing for myself is to be able to accumulate as much Bitcoin first, and as this number rises higher, then you turn Bitcoins into silver. Now, I've already got a lot of silver, so I can do this in a situation, and it's easy for me to do. But if you're looking to get into both, I think that's a decent decision. Maybe put a bit more into, well, if you put more into silver and then maybe trade Bitcoin, if you can do it successfully, it could be a huge profitability there, where you put maybe of your investment, maybe 70% in silver, 30% in Bitcoin. Then you try to outperform the market, which is not that hard for me to do anyway, where you increase Bitcoins and then buy silver later. Anyway, getting past that, let's go to the silver chart now. And before we get into it, I got the time on this one right, because I figured out after I was done doing my Bitcoin analysis, I forgot to put the time in, or the date and all that stuff. But this here and this here is going to be eliminated. There's going to be a lot of white chalk room that's going to be eliminated. So the next time you see the silver chart, you'll see like 19 here. And then these candles will look a little bit bigger. As far as the pattern, double top, there's one and there's two. So you're back at the support level. If I calculate Fibonacci downside from this high and this low, pretty much takes us down to the lower end of this range. So wouldn't be a surprise if it has a test of that level. If I'm looking at a random code on a crypto chart, and I do this oftentimes, where I'll just look at a random one, see anything I can find for any good juicy buy orders, and I'll place them. And I would look at this and say, I see a juicy buy order. I'm going to buy it around 1570. I'll put an order there because I see a double top, and of course I would do my calculations, and when I see two numbers coincide, which would be, let's show you the numbers. Okay, so this top was about 1864. And the low would be, well, it's where we are now, so let's go high 16s. Down target of 1575. And an up target of 2000, because whenever you have a range that's back and forth, and both the up target and down targets are pretty strong. And that's in the situation if this holds and we go sideways. Because I've talked about this too. This could go extendedly sideways even into the late summer, fall. And if it does that, then its first breakout points would be 20 to the upside. But 15 and 75, that's a number I think I said too anyway. I mean, it coincides. So in a situation like that, am I going to be putting much precedence on, say, this Fibonacci line? I'm not, because it's already supported here above the line. It's at that level now. This line means nothing to me now. Absolutely nothing. It's pretty much appears above large one. So I've talked about this down target. If I'm range trading this, then I'll buy now. And oftentimes I will buy on a rehit of a level, where if I buy now, I'm going to be looking to liquidate definitely the past key level, which is the last big support. I would put a sell order here. And I'd probably put one in around here, and that's everything. So if I bought, say, 1,000 tokens of something on the crypto here, I'd sell maybe 500 here and 500 here, and I'm done. And then, of course, put a buy order here for maybe 2,000 tokens. That's the type of way I would play a random chart like this, because it is a good strategy long term to buy at a previously hit level where you had a good move, and that's a good enough move because it's both bullish and bearish if it's in that range bound market, and it's also neutral. If it's neutral, it's going to come up here. If it's bullish, it's also going to make its way up there. And if it's bearish, well, it's got a good chance anyway, or a decent chance of at least making some sort of lower high before falling. And a perfect timing would be for me if the price action goes to 1575 at the same time when Bitcoin goes to 17 and change and PivX goes to 300,000 Satoshi. If that all happens at the same time, that will make my day, because the amount of silver I could get with the amount of Bitcoins at that point compared to today would just be a phenomenal gain. All right then, so thank you for tuning in. It's a longer video. I hope this is insightful and helpful. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.